Hey Study Buddy, welcome to your first GIF here on the Python Study Group. I am so thrilled to have you joining me for this explainer today. We're going to unpack something truly special, a defining moment in your coding journey based on a special note from Coach Timothy. Up until now, you've been learning the language, right? Grasping the syntax and figuring out how Python works under the hood. It's kind of like learning how a hammer and a saw function. But today, well, we are shifting gears completely. We're going to look at exactly how you transition from just learning Python to actually using those tools to build something real, something that can literally change the world around you.
So, over the next phase of our Python study group, you'll be working through 17 carefully designed industry case studies. 17. Take a second to let the scale of that number truly sink in. These are not your ordinary run-of-the-mill programming exercises where you just try to get a script to run without crashing, just to get a passing grade. No way. Each one of these projects has been meticulously crafted to expose you to the exact kinds of problems that professional Python developers wake up and solve every single day in the real world. We are bringing the industry right to your desk.
Now, before your heart starts beating out of your chest at the thought of completing 17 massive industry-level projects, fear not. You will only do one out of the 17 cases. That's right, just one. The overarching goal here isn't to bury you in endless busy work or have you barely scrape the surface of a dozen different concepts. Instead, the goal is to give you a massive menu of realistic, professional scenarios and let you choose the single path that genuinely excites you the most. We want deep, focused understanding on a single, substantial project rather than a shallow tour of the whole shebang.
And you have an incredible variety of sectors to choose from for this deep dive. Throughout these case studies, you are literally going to step into the role of a junior Python developer. You might find yourself analyzing complex patient data histories in healthcare, calculating dynamic risk thresholds in fintech, optimizing crop yield predictions in agriculture, or maybe streamlining global supply chains in logistics. And honestly, that's just the start. We also have robust scenarios in edtech, engineering, software engineering, and business analytics. No matter which of these 8 sectors you pick, you're going to be working with realistic datasets, performing vital calculations, and generating professional reports. It's a role-play scenario where the skills and the impact are 100% real.
The absolutely crucial point of this entire exercise is perfectly captured in a core philosophy from Coach Timothy. People don't hire Python developers because they know Python. They hire them because they can solve problems with Python. This is the absolute heart of our study group. Anyone can memorize syntax. Anyone can read a textbook on coding logic. But the workplace doesn't pay for memorization. They pay for tangible value. Companies are paying for active problem solvers who can look at a messy, complicated business issue, cut through all the noise, and say, I know exactly how to build a scalable solution for this.
This brilliantly illustrates the massive mental shift you are making right now. We're moving away from the old habit of simply learning Python, which usually looks like following tutorials step by step just to get the correct output in your console. It's a safe way to start, for sure, but it's incredibly limiting. Instead, your new goal is thinking like a developer. This means intentionally stepping away from the tutorial handholding. It means looking at a completely blank screen, analyzing a real-world business problem, and figuring out how to apply your concepts to that specific scenario. Every project you complete from here on out is a prime opportunity to practice that autonomous developer mindset.
At this exact moment, you might be asking yourself, am I really ready for this kind of responsibility? Yes, you absolutely are. Just consider the incredible tools you've already mastered in the first 5 lessons of the study group. You have your variables for storing information, data types for organizing it, and 4 crucial kinds of operators: arithmetic, assignment, comparison, and logical. I really want to validate your hard work here. You've put in the time and those late nights to deeply understand these core concepts. You already possess the exact foundational toolkit required to solve the case study you're about to choose.
Let's look at how this builds into the bigger picture. Because at first glance, a simple comparison operator determining if one number is bigger than another, or a basic variable storing a string of text, might seem, well, too basic to matter. Do not underestimate them. These simple building blocks are the exact same foundations used to power global banking systems, drive cutting-edge AI applications, and train complex machine learning models. I mean, a logical operator is the exact mechanism that stops a fraudulent transaction in a major fintech app. Whether you're building a local hospital management platform or a billion-dollar AI startup, these exact fundamentals will always be there, holding the entire structure together.
So what should you expect your day-to-day to actually feel like when you start your chosen case study? Well, you'll follow a precise 4-step sequential workflow. First, you'll receive a business problem. I'm not going to just ask you to arbitrarily calculate 2 numbers. I'll give you a real human scenario.
Second, you'll analyze the available information, which often means digging through messy, unstructured data to find the gold. Third, you'll think critically through the requirements, figuring out what the business actually needs to succeed. And finally, step 4, you'll use Python to produce meaningful results. This isn't just some homework structure. This is the literal mental pacing and workflow of a professional software developer.
As you prepare to launch into this intensive workflow, Coach Timothy has some very specific advice to guide you. Don't rush. Don't copy solutions. Focus on understanding. Look, when you hit a roadblock, it is incredibly tempting to just want to cross the finish line, search for a quick snippet online, and get the code to run so you can say you're done. But remember, the ultimate goal isn't just finishing the project. The goal is training your brain to think like a developer. If you speed through it or copy someone else's logic, you completely rob yourself of the actual cognitive workout, that productive struggle that fundamentally transforms you into a highly valuable programmer.
To keep you anchored in that deep understanding, I want you to continually ask yourself a series of grounding questions while you code. First, what business problem am I solving? Always keep the overarching purpose front and center in your mind. It's so easy to get lost in the weeds of syntax and never see the forest for the trees. Just ask yourself, how would this program actually help a real person sitting at a desk in a logistics company or walking the floor of a hospital? Connecting your raw code to actual human impact is exactly what elevates your work from a simple script to a profound, real-world solution.
The next question to constantly pose to yourself is, why am I using this specific operator and calculation? This is entirely about technical intention. Don't just throw different operators at a problem until something magically stops returning an error. Be incredibly deliberate. Question the why behind every single line of syntax you type out. If you're choosing to use a logical and instead of an or, you need to know exactly why the specific business rules of that industry require it. Deliberate coding is professional coding, and trust me, it saves countless hours of debugging down the line.
And the third major question to guide your daily work is my code clean, readable, and well-organized? Remember, you are building the core habits right now that future employers will highly value. In the real world, you rarely, if ever, code in total isolation. Other developers, project managers, and even your future self 6 months from now, you'll all need to read, understand, and update your work. Hold yourself to an exceptionally high professional standard right from day one. Make your code a structural pleasure for someone else to read.
Now, with all these high standards we're setting, I really need you to hear this next point loud and clear. Mistakes are an essential, non-negotiable part of the learning process. You are going to get error messages. Your code is going to break. And actually, scratch that. It's not just okay, it is fully expected. In this study group, we believe profound learning happens through application, and true application is always a little messy. Don't be afraid of the red text glowing in your terminal. Treat debugging like detective work. Every single error you patiently debug and fix becomes a permanent, hardwired lesson in your brain.
As we start to wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with Coach Timothy's powerful parting philosophy. Don't just learn Python to write code. Learn Python to solve problems, create value, and make an impact, one project at a time. These case studies are so much more than academic assignments just to pass the time. They are your direct gateway to seeing programming the exact way true, seasoned professionals do. You aren't just typing text into a machine anymore. You are learning the modern alchemy of creating immense, scalable value.
So, Study Buddy, here are your final actionable marching orders. It is time to get your professional workspace ready. Open up your preferred code editor. Grab your physical notebook, to sketch out your architecture, track your logic, and take vital notes. And most importantly, bring your endless curiosity. Approach this one carefully selected case study with clear intention and palpable excitement. We are going to start building real, transformative solutions together right now.
I'll leave you with this final, provocative thought. How will your very first Python project fundamentally change the way a business operates? It's not just a fun hypothetical anymore. You have the necessary tools, you've cultivated the right mindset, and you have this massive opportunity sitting right in front of you. Choose your sector, fully embrace the intellectual challenge, and go make a definitive impact. Happy coding, Study Buddy. I literally cannot wait to see what you build.